Hi everyone, I'm Matt, and today we're going to be making Valentine's Day themed white chocolate blondies. So what you'll need is 6 tablespoons of unsalted melted butter, 1 egg at room temperature, flour, brown and white sugar, cinnamon, baking powder, salt, and vanilla extract. So now I'm taking my brown and white sugar, and I'm using light brown sugar. You can also use dark brown sugar, which would work even better because it will make the blondies much more chewier, but light brown sugar works just as well. And I'm just mixing it with a spatula. So this is the result after you've been mixing it with the sugars, and now we're gonna add our egg that has been at room temperature and vanilla extract, which is 1 teaspoon. Make sure you use pure vanilla extract because it really makes a difference, especially in these white chocolate chip blondies. Now I have my dry ingredients, which is flour and my cinnamon and baking powder and salt. So I'm adding my cinnamon, and you can totally leave this out if you prefer, but I like a little cinnamon in my vanilla desserts. And now I'm adding my baking powder and salt. And I'm just taking a little whisk and whisking the mixture so it doesn't have any lumps. So now I'm taking my dry ingredients and I'm putting it in my wet ingredients. Make sure you use a bigger bowl because then flour will get everywhere, and that is not a good time. So now I'm just mixing it with my spatula. Make sure not to overwork the batter. Once it's combined, just leave it and add in white chocolate if you prefer. So as you can see, I'm just mixing it until it's well combined. And then I'm gonna stop. Make sure to fold in gently. Now that my batter has come together, I'm gonna add in white chocolate. I'm using white chocolate from Wilton, which is colored red and pink, as you can see, for Valentine's Day themed. But although you can just use white chocolate chips or even milk chocolate chips if you like the contrast of vanilla and chocolate. So I have a 9x9 baking pan that has been smothered with unsalted butter that has been at room temperature and then floured. You can also use confectioner sugar or cocoa powder. And I'm just plopping my batter down, and I'm going to use a spatula to spread it out. And you can also use an 8x8 pan. I'm just spreading it out with my spatula, and you can use your hands if you want, but I don't want to get messy, so I'm just using my spatula. Now that I have spread out my batter, I'm just going to add some M&Ms that are also Valentine's Day themed. You can totally skip this step, but I love M&Ms, so I'm going to add some to the top. You can even add chopped up chocolate, even more of it if you prefer, or marshmallows or walnuts, but I'm adding this. Now I baked it for 350 for about 25 to 30 minutes. It really depends, especially if you're using a lighter pan compared to a darker pan, because darker pans cook faster. So I baked mine for 25 minutes, but it can be 30 too. So this is the finished product, and I'm just going to show you how I cut it to get 16 pieces. I just cut down the middle with a sharp knife, and you can also clean the knife after every cut. However, I don't really care about the look, so I'm just using the same knife, not cleaning it, not doing anything with it, just cutting. And I'm cutting it into 2 sections, and now I'm going to cut it into 4 sections. I bet you'll do a better job than compared to me, but It's whatever. I was rushing because I really wanted some, and it was piping hot. And now I'm cutting it into 4 sections again. As you can see, my pieces are not very proportional, but I don't really care. Some are smaller than others, but it's whatever. You can also cut it into bigger or smaller pieces. And I always go for the middle in brownies or blondies. So that's what I'm doing now. And I just plate mine with 1 blondie, a scoop of vanilla bean ice cream, and some Valentine's Day themed M&Ms. You can also, once again, use walnuts, hot fudge, marshmallows, cocoa powder, milk chocolate chips. That sounds awesome. And you can also use chocolate ice cream or strawberry ice cream, whatever you want. And now I'm just using caramel, which is not homemade. It's from Hershey's. But you can make your own caramel, and you can also make your own ice cream. So I hope you enjoyed this video. You can also make it for Valentine's Day for your loved one. Please comment, rate, subscribe, and like. And it's so chewy, and I love chewy desserts. And it's fudgy too. I love fudge.